Today our topic is how to make peace with impermanence. Life is a constant flow, always changing, always moving. Nothing stays the same forever. People come and go, seasons change, and even the strongest mountains are worn down by time. This idea that everything is temporary can feel scary or sad, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, learning to accept and even embrace impermanence can bring us peace, freedom, and a deeper appreciation for life. Let's talk about how we can do that. First, let's understand what impermanence really means. Impermanence is the truth that everything in life is temporary. Your feelings, your relationships, your achievements, even your life itself, none of it lasts forever. This might sound negative, but it's not. It's simply a fact of life. Think about it. If everything stayed the same forever, life would lose its beauty. Would you enjoy the spring flowers as much if they never faded? Would you cherish time with loved ones if you thought they would always be there? Probably not. Impermanence is what makes life precious. It reminds us to appreciate what we have right now, in this moment. So, how do we make peace with impermanence? The first step is to accept it. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to like it or feel happy about it. It just means you stop fighting against it. You stop pretending that things will last forever. You stop clinging to what you have or worrying about what you might lose. Instead, you say, this is how life is. Things change, and that's okay. When you accept impermanence, you free yourself from a lot of unnecessary pain. Think about it. How much of your suffering comes from trying to hold on to things that can't last? Maybe you're afraid of losing a job or a relationship or your youth. Maybe you're sad because something good has already ended. These feelings are natural, but they hurt more when we resist them. When you accept that change is a part of life, you can let go of that resistance. You can say, this is hard, but it won't last forever. And that makes it easier to move forward. The second step is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about being fully here, right now, instead of getting lost in thoughts about the past or the future. When you practice mindfulness, you start to notice how everything is always changing. Your thoughts, your emotions, even your body, they're all in constant motion. This can help you see impermanence as a natural part of life, not something to fear. For example, when you're feeling sad, instead of trying to push the sadness away, you can just notice it. You can say, right now, I feel sad. But I know this feeling won't last forever. This doesn't make the sadness go away, but it helps you handle it with more grace. It reminds you that even the hardest moments are temporary. The third step is to focus on what you can control. One of the reasons impermanence feels scary is because it reminds us how little control we have. We can't stop time. We can't make people stay. We can't prevent loss or change. But we can control how we respond to these things. We can choose to live with kindness, courage, and gratitude, even when life is uncertain. For example, if you're worried about losing someone you love, you can't stop that from happening. But you can choose to spend time with them now, to show them how much they mean to you. You can choose to make the most of the time you have together. This doesn't take away the pain of impermanence, but it helps you live in a way that feels meaningful. The fourth step is to find meaning in the process. Life isn't just about the things we achieve or the moments we enjoy. It's also about the journey, the ups and downs, the lessons we learn, the person we become along the way. When you see life as a process, you start to appreciate even the hard parts. You realize that every experience, good or bad, is shaping you into who you're meant to be. For example, maybe you've gone through a difficult breakup. It hurts, and you might wish it never happened. But over time, you might see how that experience taught you something important about love, about yourself, about what you really want in life. When you look at it that way, even the pain has value. It's part of your story, part of your growth. The fifth step is to practice gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to make peace with impermanence. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you stop worrying so much about what you might lose. You start to see how much you already have and how lucky you are to have it, even if it's just for a little while. For example, instead of being sad that a beautiful sunset is ending, you can feel grateful that you got to see it at all. Instead of being afraid of growing older, you can feel thankful for all the experiences you've had so far. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It helps you see the beauty in the moment even when you know it won't last. The sixth step is to embrace change as an opportunity. Change can be scary, but it can also be exciting. It's a chance to try something new, to grow, to become a better version of yourself. When you see change as an opportunity, you stop resisting it and start welcoming it. For example, maybe you've lost a job you thought you'd have forever. It's painful, but it's also a chance to explore new career paths, to learn new skills, to find work that truly fulfills you. Maybe a relationship has ended, and it's sad, but it's also a chance to rediscover who you are on your own, to meet new people, to build a life that feels authentic to you. Change forces us to adapt, and in that adaptation, we often find strength we didn't know we had. The seventh step is to connect with something bigger than yourself. When you feel connected to something larger, whether it's nature, spirituality, or a sense of purpose, impermanence feels less intimidating. You realize that even though your individual life is temporary, you're part of something eternal. For example, when you look at the stars, you see how small and fleeting your life is in the grand scheme of the universe. But instead of feeling insignificant, you might feel a sense of awe and connection. You realize that you're part of a vast, beautiful, ever-changing world. This can help you let go of the need to control everything and instead trust in the flow of life. Finally, remember that impermanence is not your enemy. It's not something to fight or fear. It's simply the nature of life. And when you make peace with it, you open yourself up to a deeper, richer experience of life. You stop clinging to what's already gone and start living fully in the present. You stop worrying about the future and start appreciating the now. You stop resisting change and start embracing it as a natural part of your journey. Making peace with impermanence isn't easy. It takes time, practice, and patience. But the more you work at it, the more you'll find that it brings you freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from regret, freedom to live your life with openness and joy. So, take a deep breath. Look around you. Notice the beauty of this moment, even if it's just a small, quiet moment. And remember, this moment won't last forever. But that's what makes it so precious.